Jai Prabhupada. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vyasa Gaur Bhaktavinda Jai Gauranga. Gadada Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vyasa Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vyasa Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Ready, Mother Guru Bhakti? Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radhe Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radhe Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe
Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan.
Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Chandra, Nitai Gaura Chandra Gaura Hari. Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Chandra Nitai Gaura Chandra Gaura Hari. Bolo bolo. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaur Premanandi. Jayom Nitya Leela Pravishto Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Stotar Sata. His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Iskcon founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. BPT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja Maha Utsav ki. Jayam Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parirajagacharya Stotar Sata. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parirajagacharya Stotar Sata. Divine Grace Srila Gaurakishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki. Jayam Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parirajagacharya Stotar Sata. His Divine Grace Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki. Jai. Jayam Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parirajagacharya Astotar Sata. Divine Grace Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ सदगोसाई प्रभु की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त बिंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की। श्री मायापुर नवदीप धाम की। गंगा मैया की, यमुना देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी देवी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, परम विजयते श्री कृष्ण संकीर्तन की। श्री निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja Maha Utsava ki.
Yes, it's on there. Hare Krishna. So for the Bhagavatam class today, we have a format where we're going to, it's going to be glorification of Srila Prabhupada in line with his Vyasa Puja. And we have a special song describing from Bhakti Vinod Thakur from Sharanagati, which begs the Guru, Srila Prabhupada is our Param Guru, for his mercy. So the words are there, and Sugopi here is going to sing it. Okay? So she will start. Thank you.
Thank you for conducting.
I have no idea. How do you bring this down?
Thank you.
So we will wait. You'll wait. Okay. The first is written.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Can you all come closer? It's very, we come a little closer to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Manush, those who are sitting, the first 13, if your number is in the first 13, please sit according to your numbers of the quality you are saying. Yes. Yes. And then once you have done your part, then you can sit back, okay?
Hare
Trinapekhatehina Gurudev Kripabindu Diya Guruvedase Trinapekhatehina Sakala Sahane Baladiya Koro Nijamane Sprehahina 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 Sakale Sammana Korite Shakati Dehonatha Jata Jata Sakale Sammana Korite Shakati Dehonatha Jata Jata Sakale Sammana Korite Shakati Dehonatha Jata Jata तबे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराधा बेहता तबे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराधा तबे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराधा बेहता कबे है नो कृपा लभियाए जाना कृतज्ञ होए नाथा कबे है नो कृपा लभियाए जाना कृतज्ञ होए नाथा Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Translation: Gurudev, give to this servant just one drop of mercy. I am lower than a blade of grass. Give me all help. Give me strength. Let me be as you are, without desires or aspirations. I offer you all respects, for thus I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then, by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. O Lord and Master, when will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? Allow me to be with you. If you examine me, you will find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I am made of. If you are not merciful unto me, I can only weep, and I will not be able to maintain my life.
You all know today is 126 Vyasa Puja appearance anniversary. So program actually, of course, after Bhagavatam class, and the program here 9:30 will start with a musical composition, musical recitation by the youth of our community. Markine Bhagavat Dharma, followed by Adore Ye All. 10 o'clock Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja class, and 10:45 is Glorification of Srila Prabhupada. 11:45 is Pushpanjali. Noon is Srila Prabhupada's Guru Puja Arati, and 12:45 is Prasadam. Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone for coming. So I would like those people who have the flash cards of the qualities 1 to 13, please take your seats so we won't take so much time. And today we are reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 22, texts are 78 to 80. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Kripalu Akrita Droha Satya Sada Sama
Dharo Satya Dharo Sama
Nidosha Vadanya Mridu Suchi Akinchana
Nidosha Vadanya Mrudu Suchi Akinchana
Sarvopakara Kashanta Krishneka Sharana
Sarvopakara Paka Santa Kyanyanam
Akama niha sthira vijita sadguna.
Akama aniha sthira vijita sadguna.
Mita bhuk apramata manada amani.
Mita bhuka apamadanani.
Gambira karuna maitra kavi dakshamoni.
Gambira matsita mukhamani.
Somebody can chant in the
Kripalo akruta droha satya sarava. Nidosava danyam rudu suci akinchan. Sarvopakara santaja Krishnai kansarane. Akama aniha sthira vijita dhuntura. Ita luka aparatnananani. Gambira karuna mitra kavi dakshamauni.
one more.
Kripalu akruta koda satya sara sama. Nidosava danyam mridu suci akinchana. Sarupakaraka santa krishneka sarana. Akama aniha sthira vijita sadguna. Mita bhuka apamadanani. Gambira karuna maitra kavidakshamoni.
So we'll read the translation for the verse. So, devotees are always merciful, humble, truthful, equal to all, faultless, magnanimous, mild and clean. They are without material possessions and they perform welfare work for everyone. They are peaceful, surrendered to Krishna and desireless. They are indifferent to material acquisitions and are fixed in devotional service. They completely control the 6 bad qualities: lust, anger, greed, and so forth. They eat only as much as required, and they are not inebriated. They are respectful, grave, compassionate, and without false prestige. They are friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. There's no purport to this verse. We can say the Om Jnana praise together. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Milatam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopika Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusvate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatya Deshasharine. It is described that a Vaishnava is a perfect gentleman. And Srila Prabhupada exemplified by his behavior and by his words the qualities of a perfect gentleman. And there are 26 qualities listed here. So what we are going to do is each devotee has been assigned one quality. They will speak starting with the first one, which is Kripalu. In 1.5 minutes, they have to talk about the quality and one example only of how Srila Prabhupada exemplified this quality. It was very amazing when I sent out this message at the end of a day. In less than 12 hours, all the qualities were taken. So it just gave me that devotees love Srila Prabhupada so much. Usually if you ask for something, people don't sign up very easily. And even today, there were 26 qualities, only about 1/4, 25% attrition, people who did not show up, even though they committed. So this just, it's very inspiring to see and heartwarming that people are so, we are so beholden to Srila Prabhupada and we'd like to glorify him. And the more devotees glorify Srila Prabhupada, the better it is for our consciousness and for the consciousness of everyone else. So we will start with the first one, which is there, Kripalu, which is merciful. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava Ki Jai. Radha Giridhari Giriraj Govardhan, Nitai Chaitanya Chandra, Nitai Gaura Chandra Ki Jai.
Okay. His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. His Holiness Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. So I have a Kripalu. Kripalu means merciful. Dictionary defines merciful means somebody giving you that is not easily available. That is the definition. And applying to Srila Prabhupada, what he has given us. He has given us Krishna consciousness. That is not easily available. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, Suhradam Sarva Bhutanam. Okay? Also when we pray Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we say, Tuma bina ke dayalu. Okay? In all of these cases, we can see also in Srila Prabhupada that he is so merciful to us that he has come to this country at age of 69 and given us the Krishna consciousness. One example about his mercy, there are a number of examples, but the one I'm going to talk about is that when he wanted to come to the United States, he didn't have any means. Okay? He needed some support, financial support, so he goes to Mrs. Murari and asks for a ticket. Okay? First, initially, she supports him in a Bhagavatam printing, but then Srila Prabhupada goes again, and her secretary, Mr. Choksi, says, oh, here comes the Swamiji again. And the Swamiji, at that time, Mr. Choksi, you had to go through Mr. Choksi, or he had to go through Mr. Choksi, and explain to Srimati Murarji that he needed a ticket. And Mrs. Murarji says, no, he is old man, he cannot go there because he will not be able to accomplish what he wants to accomplish. Why doesn't he stay here in India and translate the Srimad Bhagavatam and do the preaching here? Okay? But ultimately he gets the ticket and he comes to the United States. And in that warning was that you might die. That is the point I want to make. Even at his own life's expense, he was willing to come here and give us the Krishna consciousness.
Thank you. Thank you. The next one is Akrita Droha, which means not defiant.
Hare Krishna. Today I will talk about the quality Akrita Droha that Srila Prabhupada so much exemplified for our benefit actually. Krita, meaning the word means to do, doing. Akrita, not done, not doing. Droha means in defiance, quarrel. So Akrita Droha is exactly opposite, which means not defiant, humble, not quarrelsome. So when Srila Prabhupada first met his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he was a supporter of Mahatma Gandhi's effort to liberate India from the shackles of British rule. During that meeting, Srila Prabhupada expressed his viewpoint about his political affiliation. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura defeated Srila Prabhupada's opinion using sound logic and scriptural evidence by proving that Krishna consciousness alone can free India and the whole world from all sorts of material suffering. Because Srila Prabhupada had this quality, akrita droha, not defiant, being very humble, he surrendered very graciously to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta and accepted him as his spiritual master, spiritual guide at heart. In fact, that was his very first meeting. So I love to conclude with this couplet poem. In defiance, we lost all essence. In defiance, we lost all essence. Your grace will propel us towards transcendence. Your grace will propel us towards transcendence. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Thank you. Thank you. So disciple means discipline. Discipline means we want to stick to one quality and try and keep to the time. Very good, Prabhu, you kept up. So Vrajabhumi number 3, which is Satya Sara.
Hare Krishna. Too loud. Satya Sara, truly truthful. Being truthful, according to the dictionary, means actively making known all the full truth of a matter. In Krishna consciousness, a devotee always remembers that he is the eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the reservoir of all pressure and the ultimate enjoyer of all activities. By avoiding activities outside devotional service, a devotee fits in the truth. He does not usually waste time, and those become steady and fits in his devotional service. Satyasara simultaneously means fits in absolute truth. The primary truthfulness for a disciple is to keep the vow of following the regulative principles and chanting his rounds of japa every day. Also, a devotee should always act in Krishna's interest and not in his own order in order to remain fits in the absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada exemplified this when he first came to America. Excuse me, I forgot my readers. Srila Prabhupada presented forgive me, I forgot my glasses. Srila Prabhupada presented the process of spiritual life that was vested in personal sacrifice and purification of the senses. Because of his sincere presentation of Lord Krishna's message and his shining example of spiritual perfection, people gradually began to understand that he was sane and received the message with pleasure. Such was powerful of Srila Prabhupada's truthfulness. And we can hear in all his truthfulness, in all of his lectures, and in his composure while he was here. And even still, if you listen to his lectures and read his books, he never sugarcoated anything, and he never minced his words. He was really sticking straight to the absolute truth.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. The next one is Sama, equal.
Hare Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport of Canto 9, Chapter 4, text number 66, the pure devotee is actually equal toward everyone, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. Universal brotherhood is possible when one is a pure devotee. So, here Srila Prabhupada is explaining the quality of how to be equal and how a pure devotee is equal to everybody. So a few examples that come to my mind is Srila Prabhupada left India just to preach to everybody. He didn't see people on their bodily concept, he saw on the soul level. Even to the extreme that he sent TKG to China right? He didn't see, he saw the soul within the body. He went himself to Russia, and he didn't see male or female. There is a pastime with Srila Prabhupada that Govinda Dasi Mataji, she's explaining that Prabhupada will, rotate the globe, and he will say, Brahmananda, you will go here, Achyutya, you will go here, and he will say, Govinda Dasi, you will go here. And Govinda Dasi Mataji will say, oh, Prabhupada, but I am a girl. No. Then Prabhupada says, no, don't worry. Male and female, that's not a difference. You go and preach. So that's how Prabhupada saw on equal level. And also to the point that he saw the animals and insects on the same soul level. One pastime is where Srila Prabhupada is talking to his disciple in his room, and he's saying, you have to preach even to this ant, you have to chant to this ant. And that disciple is looking, where is that ant? He was bewildered. But Prabhupada was saying that you see the soul within the body, don't get caught up on the bodily concept. Another pastime is where Srila Prabhupada is in Vrindavan, and he is honoring his prasadam, and a dog comes by, and his disciples are like shooing away the dog, hut, hut, hut. And Prabhupada said, no, no, no. And he gives a roti, a piece of roti to that dog. So he saw equal, on the equal vision, on equal level, and that equal level is on the soul level. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you. Perfect Madhavacharan. Thank you so much. Next one is Nidosh, faultless.
Nirdosh means faultless, like Mataji said. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text 19, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that the Lord is faultless, flawless, because he is without attraction or hatred. So similarly, when a living entity comes to that platform without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless. And at that time, he'll be eligible to enter into the spiritual sky. So Srila Prabhupada was neither attracted nor did he hate anything in this world. He simply used everything in Krishna's service. Therefore, he is faultless. If we see faults in Srila Prabhupada, it's only because of our own ignorance. So in one interview, one interviewer, he tried to find some kind of fault in Srila Prabhupada by, accusing him that you stress more on your relationship with Krishna rather than relationship with other living entities. So the interviewer, he says that, it seems to me, sir, as interpreted in your writings, that there is a very high emphasis placed on the relationship between the individual and God. Then Srila Prabhupada says, yes, that is found everywhere. Interviewer, yes, but you place more emphasis on that relationship than on the relationship between one individual and another. Am I right in that, Srila Prabhupada? We have to establish, first of all, our lost relationship with God. Then we can understand what is our relationship between one individual and another. If the central point is missing, then there is practically no relation. You are an American and another is an American. And both of you feel American nationality because the center is America. So unless you understand God, you cannot understand who I am, nor can I understand who you are. So he could not be proven for having any fault. Many people tried, even an Indian businessman, he tried in one of the interviews in the Prabhupada Memories, he says that, I tried to see if he had any contamination in his heart, but I could not find any.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is Vadanya, which is magnanimous.
Hare Krishna. So Vadanya, magnanimous, means generous or forgiving, especially toward a rival or less powerful person. Now Srila Rupa Goswami, he declared that Lord Chaitanya is Mahavadanya Avatar, the most magnanimous incarnation, because he was freely distributing the highest fruit of love of God, Krishna Prema, to everyone. And Srila Prabhupada, he extended this net even further to actually catch the most fallen and degraded souls in Kali Yuga, coming to the Western world and liberally distributing this greatest gift, giving us all opportunities to participate in spiritual activities and perfect our lives. All of us trying, I noted that point of especially toward a rival, because actually all of us, because of the false ego, are trying to compete with Krishna for the position of God. But Srila Prabhupada is still, even if he saw just one shred of sincerity in our hearts, he was willing to give himself entirely to his disciples, his time. One of the quotes I came across was in the Acharya book, and it says that it was a letter he was responding to one of his disciples. And Prabhupada says, "The spiritual master accepts the sinful activities of his disciples from the first initiation. I may give initiation very easily, but what can I do? I am prepared to go to hell for service of Lord Chaitanya." Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you so much. The next one is mridu or mild.
Count that against me. Mridu means mild. A devotee that is mridu is tiksava, forbearing, vinamra, humble, karunika, merciful, and suritam, well-wisher, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita 22.18. Srila Prabhupada was very mild in his behavior and his actions. He accepted and gave association to the ignored and forgotten class of the 70s and served them unconditionally, whether it was lecturing, leading kirtan, cooking for the young devotees. He was always working to uplift everyone to a higher level of consciousness. There's a pastime I'd like to share. Ajama Prabhu shares a pastime highlighting Srila Prabhupada's mridu quality. Srila Prabhupada was giving a class at the inauguration of the Mayapur Chandroya Mandir. This was at a moment when Srila Prabhupada had achieved great success in worldwide recognition and tremendous growth of the movement. At the end of his lecture, he paused and stated, "I am unfit to be your leader. Lord Chaitanya has planted you all over the world. Because previously you were associated with the Sankirtan movement, the credit of this movement goes to you. I am unfit to be your leader." After many years, Ajamal Prabhu appreciated and understood Srila Prabhupada's humility and his quality of mridu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you. Then Suchi, which means clean.
Hare Krishna. I got Suchi. Suchi means clean. So that has both internal and external cleanliness. And Prabhupada exhibited both. Whoever comes to Iskcon temples, they can see what he has inspired us or these disciples to build. Other things, his cooking and even his eating style is so clean. When you see some videos, it's evident that his plates are always clean when he's done. Cooking, my Guru Maharaj told us that when he cooked, his kitchen was always spick and span. It's very clean. And he always told everybody that Brahmanas are those who leave the place cleaner than what they find. I got a sore throat. And internal cleanliness, his writings, they exhibit how clean his consciousness is. Any external impetus doesn't impacted him. At one time, somebody asked him, "Prabhupada, you see so many beautiful persons, doesn't it impact you?" He says, "I have a physical body, my physical body probably reacts, but my consciousness doesn't change." So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful example. The next one is Akinchana. That's quality number 9.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I have a Kinchan.
Okay, thank you.
So, an intelligent person, therefore, does not put his faith in any material possessions, but completely takes the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Such a person is called a Kinchan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also known as Akinchan Gochar, for he can can be achieved only by a person who does not put faith in material possession. Therefore, the fully surrendered soul who has no material possessions on which to depend, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the only shelter. So Srila Prabhupada is a perfect example of a kinchan. There are so many different examples that can be given. When he came to United States, he only had 40 rupees. So he did not care about doing a lot of material packing. Like when we moved to United States, we packed like full boxes. We want to make sure our jewelry and everything is there with us. But Srila Prabhupada did not care anything about that. Then also when Prabhupada returned to India, he had all these disciples. He had so many different temples he was built, but he never took the credit for that. He always gave the credit to his Guru Maharaj. He said, even these disciples are my gurus, which are property of my Guru Maharaj. So even with the wealth or with the fame, he did not take any material possession. So Srila Prabhupada is an excellent person who can be called as a kinchan, and we should try to imbibe those qualities in our life too.
Thank you. Thank you. The next one is Sarva Upakarak, working for the welfare of everyone.
Hare Krishna. So to do welfare work, we must know how to help people. And therefore, actions that are not connected to Krishna, they're useless. And education that's not connected to Krishna, also useless. Because ultimately we're spirit souls, and if we have any diversion from that identity, we will remain in a suffering condition. So recently in the Bhagavatam we read, Prabhupada gave this example that if you go to a mental asylum and you're looking at one of the crazy people there and they're going through fits, oh now I'm a king running around so happy, oh now I'm dead, this and that, you feel sad for them. So whether or not the person in the cell is feeling happy or sad, the person in reality looking at them feels sad for them. So in the same way, Prabhupada is looking at all of us in our cells going through happiness, going through distress, and he's just simply feeling sad because we're crazy. So the welfare work for everyone, and Prabhupada exemplified this, is elevating us to our original identity as Krishna's loving servants.
Thank you. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Giridhari Giriraj Govardhan, Jai Chaitanya Chandra Nitya Gaura Chandra ki Jai. The next one is Shanta, which is peaceful.
So Shanta, it's peaceful as Mataji has explained, mentioned. So basically peaceful, as described in one of the online Srila Prabhupada sites, was like a country pond with crystal clear still water with the lotus flowers in it. It's as good as a representation of a peacefulness. But there's another place where there was a reference by Puja Krishna Das. Thank you. Puja Krishna Das, who was accompanying Srila Prabhupada on a flight from Singapore to Australia. So the flight was going very smoothly, and there was a sudden drop in the it was just falling, like sudden drop in the height. So this Puja Krishna Das was really excited because he had gone through some anxiety that which is like he has got roller coasters riding. Then as soon as the plane got a little stabilized, he went to Srila Prabhupada because he was in the front cabin and asked him, are you all right, Gurudev, Prabhupada? Then Srila Prabhupada responds. He just looked at him like, what happened? So he was like Santa, peaceful, even though the situation was very intense.
Thank you. The next one is the chief quality, Krishna Eka Sharana, exclusively surrendered to Krishna. It's not on.
Hare Krishna. So, in the famous verse from Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, he quotes from Hari Bhakti Vilas the process of complete surrender. And in that process, there are 6 limbs for the surrender. And when we go through those limbs, we find that Srila Prabhupada exhibited all those qualities which were mentioned in those 6 limbs. So those are anukulasya sankalpa, which is the acceptance of those things which are favorable to the devotional service. And one thing which is primary in that category is following the instruction of his spiritual master. And we all know that Srila Prabhupada made the instruction of his spiritual master his life and soul. And for that instruction, he took so much trouble, but he's always kept that instruction in his mind when he came to the Western world. The second one is pratikulasya varjanam, which is the rejection of unfavorable things. And Srila Prabhupada exhibited that when he found that the family life is not conducive for his spiritual growth, he basically left the family life, and basically he at that age he basically took the sannyas. So that's one of the example. Then the conviction that Krishna will give protection, and the acceptance of Lord as one's guardian or master. And we can understand that by seeing how Srila Prabhupada always depended on Krishna when he came to this land. He didn't have a place to stay, and he kind of stayed in a place which was not very much conducive to his sadhana, but still he kind of lived with drunkards and all the people, all the activities which are not very conducive, but still he always depended on Krishna, and he accepted that whatever Krishna wishes, like he will do accordingly with him. So he always accepted Krishna as his primary shelter. Other quality is, or other limb is the humility, and we can see how in what humble way he always served the devotees in the initial phase of Krishna consciousness. So I mean, he cooked for all the devotees. He did all the preparation while he was kind of preparing for the class and for inviting all the devotees. So and the last one, the full surrender, obviously. With all these qualities and all, the Srila Prabhupada's life itself exemplifies the full surrender. So, yeah, I think these are few examples with regard to Krishna Eka Sharanam, the quality that Srila Prabhupada imbibed.
Thank you. The next one is akama, desireless. And can the next 13 people show up here on the chairs?
Okay, the
Akam. That's 13.
Yes, this quality, akam or desireless, Prabhupada has expressed this quality throughout his preaching. I mean, whole preaching, what he did is that he didn't do anything for his personal use, personal motive. From the very beginning, to satisfy his Guru's desire, he did not hesitate to give up his family. He just gave up his family and he left. Also, when he came to US, he says that all other Indians have come here to gain some personal thing. But I have come here to give everyone. I haven't come here to take. That shows his quality of akam. He's never have any personal calm. Also, when the New York 22nd Avenue temple opens after very hard struggle, is open and is established, and he was very well established after that. And kind of other devotees were just satisfied in that place. But when the opportunity came to preach, to go to the San Francisco, he didn't hesitate. He did not have a personal desire to just stay there. He was comfortable there, and he still gave up. He says, I am not belong to New York, I belong to Krishna. And that's what his quality says.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for all those qualities. Thank you. The next one is Mata Kamal Gopika number 14, which is Aniha.
Aniha, that means indifferent to material acquisitions. So, Srila Prabhupada. So, the devotees, they are not very attached to the material acquisitions because they know that these doesn't have any permanent values. So, they always look for the eternity means. So Srila Prabhupada, so many pastimes are there, to just I am mentioning one. So Sudama, he was Prabhupada disciple in Brooklyn in early days, and he was very expert in organizing dramas. So he was doing just one drama for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada in Brooklyn, and he was himself doing as a Kali Yuga, and 6 servants of Kali Yuga, they were playing the part other 6 devotees. So Lobh, Moho, Krodh,